Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. And as always, thank you very much for your energy exchange with us today. And we hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are having the most fortunate day today. So we just got off a live with Lewis Herms, a really great guy. So I hope you enjoyed that. For those of you who are hanging out with us on this one, today we're going to be talking about abundance elements with our soul sister Danielle Matthews. You all recognize her, don't you? So she's been helping us in our journey with what we've been doing with ASEA, mind, body, spirit, prosperity, even. I mean, there's four corners of this whole equation, but we're often taught that there's only three, right?
Right, exactly. They always leave out, everyone always talks about the mind, the body, and the spirit, but they seem to always leave out the prosperity. So we want to talk about how do you create abundance and how do you create prosperity. So, you know, this is how I look at it. I split it into four quadrants: mind, body, spirit, and prosperity. Very simple. And when you feel like one of those quadrants is off balance in your life, that's when things start, you hit bumps. Things aren't going so smoothly. So you really want to start to focus in and identify where are the issues in your life? Where are the blocks? What is causing things in your life to, you think you're doing everything right and you're asking yourself, well, why is this not happening? What am I doing? What am I doing that's causing X, Y, and Z to not appear, to not come forward, to not create? So we want to go back and kind of look at, you have to go back and say, well, what's off balance in your life? And it's very, very important. Everybody, especially like when in this community, we'll call it like the truther community or the spiritual community, so many people talk about the light, the light, the light, the light. But listen, we're not all light. I don't care how wonderful you are and how much you clean up your life and how much you do for humanity and how much of a good giver you are. It does not work that way. We are both. We are both light and we are both dark. Everything in life is all about creating balance. Balance with everything. Balance with food, balance with money, balance with health, balance with prosperity. Balance is the key to everything. So when people start to say, well, I'm just going to be all light, all light, all light, all light, I'm sorry, it does not work that way. There's a balance and you have to fine tune that balance. And when you start fine tuning that balance, then if you've ever heard Jay and I talk about the universal lazy river, then it's very easy to move along the universal lazy river and you start creating the things in your life that you want. You start manifesting the things in life that you are thinking about, dreaming about, projecting. That's how you do it.
So we actually had a cool manifestation, everybody. So as many of you know, we've been taking on this amazing journey with ASEA, which is helping us mind, body, spirit, and prosperity now, which is pretty awesome. We got to meet Danielle. We all got to take a trip to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in Utah called the ASEA factory. That was pretty cool. So, it's something that we thought we would never do anything like that, but we actually got to see where this amazing technology came from that is really helping people. What April was talking about, try to really grasp that the real essence of who they are. Danielle, thanks a lot for coming back with us. It's good to see you again on this, here through the internet.
No, it was good to be with you all. We're separated again, but yeah, it is nice to be here. And I just want to say something with what you were sharing about April. We are in the 3D, like we are on Earth, we are in this space, and the law of polarity exists here. In fact, it's part of what we're supposed to explore, the light and the dark. You need both. There's a harmony between the two. I always think of the yin and yang symbol, right? One leads right into the other, and it's always a flow. And I think when people just try to go straight to the 5D, they try to just sort of almost like circumvent the darkness that's here. You're missing something, and life is always going to bring you back. It's because you can't not accept the challenges, the hard parts, the difficulties, the aspects of you that maybe people call their shadow side, right? Like all of that is something that you have to address. It's part of why we're here. It's part of the process. And as you do that, it allows you to then transcend and move to 4D and 5D, but you can't ignore it. It drives me nuts when people try to.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that, because you really hit the nail right on the head. And it's so funny. People always say, well, I'm going to go from 3D to 5D. Well, first you have to get past 3D, and then you have to get to 4D, and then 5D. Eventually, hopefully at some point in our lives we'll attain that. But here's the whole thing. It happens throughout the day. So the easiest way that I've been able to articulate it, again, this is just for myself. I don't see 3D, 4D, 5D as a lot of people view it as places, someplace I'm going to, someplace I'm getting to. It's a state of consciousness, right? It's all in your head, all in your mind. So it's all a state of consciousness. So throughout your day, you could start out in one level of consciousness, and as your day progresses, either something's going to trigger you and bring you back down, or something's, you're doing things throughout your day that are raising your vibration, that are keeping your frequency high. So for anyone who's like, why can't I go from here to here? Just know that it is your level of consciousness. Another way to look at it, it's the level of your frequency or your vibration. So ultimately, the question really is, what are you doing in your life that is either A, raising your frequency and your vibration, or B, reducing and lowering your frequency and vibration? I think it's really important that we talk about things like that, what we can do in our everyday life that's going to help us keep us elevated and keep our vibrations and frequency at the highest point that they can possibly be. And not only that, when your vibration is high and you going through episodes throughout your day, or something triggers you or something happens and it lowers you, the other thing is learning how to master how to get out of that low frequency very, very quickly and not have that manifest worse or prolong it even more. I think that's probably, in life's lessons, one of the hardest. I don't want to use the word hard, but it's one of the most challenging things is to get out of that frequency as quick as possible, literally do a turnaround, and then not have that, not go down, because it's very easy to go down that dark road, that dark path, that slippery slope. You can slide down on super, 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 super quick. And not only can you go down it super quick, you can stay down there very easily. And a lot of people stay down. I'm going to share, because I see it happening on social media all the time. When someone has something happen in their life, what do? They go on social media and they post it for all the world to see.
Amplifies it.
Amplifies it, exactly. Thank you. So not only does it amplify it, you're creating this vortex of energy that people are now, they're tapping into it. So and I actually asked someone, why are they doing that? And they said to me, well, I'm hoping to get prayers in return. I'm like, well, first of all, let's get something straight right now, because I'm looking at the news feed. I'm like, you're not getting prayers. You're getting a lot of negativity. A lot of people are feeding into that negativity, number one. And number two, not everybody on social media is your best friend. Not everybody on social media is interested in you, interested in your well-being, right? There's a lot of people and a lot of bots, a lot of energy, a lot of this that are feeding and wanting to feed into that energy.
What's your thought on that, Danielle Matthews?
I missed what you said, Jake, because I was talking at the same time. What'd you say?
I said, what's your thoughts on that? How do you feel?
Yeah, well, first of all, social media, my view on it is put out positivity, because the world needs it. And, we each can share that, and I want that to be amplified. So that's what I use that space for. But I think what I want to come to with what you were saying, April, how do you keep yourself in a high vibration? What do you do? I went through what I would call the dark night of the soul right after my car accident. And when I came out on the other side of that, and ASEA was such an integral part, right, of my physical recovery, but I also realized, look, I want to surround myself with the right people. I want to be in a space where there are people that think differently, that look at the world differently, that want to help lift and create and are not, suppressing or pushing me down or saying, you can't do that, or living in fear. And that was honestly like, you all got to meet Tyler, the founder of ASEA. I mean, the product changed my life, but it was when I went to an event and I heard him speak that my soul, like I had goosebumps head to toe the whole day. And my soul just went, yes, this is where I want to be. This is an environment that is going to attract in the right types of people that I want to be around. And so for the last almost 8 years, I've gotten to meet the most incredible souls globally because this company is around the world. And so I've gotten to meet people from Australia, Germany, all over that they look at the world in the same way. And so they collectively, they've helped to allow me to raise myself and keep myself in this space where I can keep generating and keep creating and keep spiraling up, not spiraling down. And I think that part of that journey for me has been you all coming into my world, right? Because you attract we attract who we are. And I think you all entering, and I've just watched you, I think if everyone could just be around you for 10 minutes a day. I mean, honestly, it's like the space that you hold, and I've watched you do it for this team that has entrusted themselves with you. Like, you hold a space that raises everyone around you. And it's beautiful to watch. And it's because you've mastered your own mind. You've been able to figure out how to keep yourselves clear. And now you're a conduit and a leader for others. And it's so amazing that we've been able to, through ASEA, right? Which who would have thought, but through this, be able to connect and lift humanity in that way and offer a community that holds that space for people.
We've had for years,
you,
we
Danielle,
talked, thanks for that. It was very kind of you. We've had a couple of years that people have been talking about, there's going to be this technology come along. So we found the technology and we've talked about that. All the links will be in the description for all those shows there. But the biggest part of the learning experience behind this is, like you said, when you can get to a god or a goddess or get that spark going, then you meet the like attract like, you know what I mean? That's energy right there. It's like interesting as you both were talking, you think about there's this whole sale of let's get out of this place. You know what I mean? A lot of religions are when you get to heaven, there'll be this mansions and blah, blah, blah. If you're, whatever religion, you'll have 29 virgins. So there's this, or there's this 5D, we can get out of here. You have to understand, everybody, and this is the philosophy we've taken on, and I hope we can provide you value today by sharing this. Our thought process is that you have to understand that's a dark entity of sorts that's deflecting you from the real purposes, which is finding out what is now for you, so you can find out really who and what you are, because that's all speculation at this point still. Nobody knows. I don't know anybody. Do you know anybody that showed up at a cross 2,000 years ago and actually saw anything? I don't know. It looks good. It sounds good. It's well written, if you can understand it. But there's different things there. All I'm saying is this: is that we need to think about the now. If you want a better life and you want to change the way things are, it's not going to be by waiting for that thing to come. I will tell you, you will be shit out of luck, and you'll be sad out of luck. You'll be very. It's not a good thing to do. If you're wanting something, the best way for you to manifest it is to act in motion. Yes. Action in motion. So if you're wanting whatever, start doing things that would be there until that thing comes in. It's going to help that universe start to draw and attract that thing closer and closer to you. It may not be the specific exact event that you do to get you there, but it brings the energy of that thing to you.
Which is kind of what Danielle just said. Who would have thought that we would have connected by something like this, right? A blue bottle and a white tube. I mean, who would have ever imagined that? And especially when it was not on my radar at all. Moved. But the point being is, and not only do we work together, we're actually friends and we really enjoy each other's company. So you just never know what the universe is going to use. You never know what the universe is going to do to get you to the next level of where you're really trying to get to. Where perfect example, I looked at that and I was like, Jade, no. This is just not something that we need right now. We have so much other stuff in the cabinet. But, you just never know. You never know. The other thing, too, is, again, it's all in the mind. Everything is stemming from the mind. So it is so critical to keep your mind in check, to keep your energy high, because thoughts create things. Very simple. I cannot put it any more simple than that. Thoughts create
Especially now.
things. Yes, especially now, because
The vortexes are open,
the
right?
vortexes are opening. The veil has definitely been lifted. We're literally, our eyes are open now. So we're seeing things now that we've never seen before. So, it's very, there's no other way to put it, but the veil has been lifted. So it's so important that your mind stays in a positive, high vibration, because when you're thinking negative thoughts, all that's going to do is create more drama.
Right.
It's going to create more negative thoughts. You cannot manifest and create great abundance when your mind is focused on negativity and drama. It will never happen. So if you're sitting and you're wondering, you're like, why? What am I doing wrong? Just step back for a second, look at the 4 quadrants, your mind, body, spirit, and prosperity, and really try to analyze where's the disconnect. Where's the disconnect?
You know what? We spend so much time trying to impress people that we don't even know. And then, it's like, that's where we spend our lives, right? And so it's really weird like that. And, I saw someone, Danielle, I was watching a show the other day, and someone was saying, when they were talking about the ASEA journey, right? And someone was in the chat, another infomercial, blah, 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 blah. And I found the person having to feel like they defended themselves. And I thought to myself, if you're watching and you're one of these people that have to put your feelings on there, when someone's trying to be on their show or their platform or their message, and, you need to express that, I would send those thoughts back to hell like that, because they don't belong there. If you're not praising, or you're not supporting someone that's got to get through this lifetime and do what they got to do to get to the next day for them and their family, and you have to shame them for doing that. Again, I really hope and pray that you go to whatever caused you to act like that, which is absolutely selfish and ridiculous. And I'm sure you wouldn't want your family to act like that, So I would say to you, if you're one of those that do that to people, just try to realize that it's not your journey. You don't walk in their shoes. You don't know what they go through. So, and you know what? And if you feel that way, the best act of defense for you is to open up your own platform, get your own channel, and attract those people that say, hey, don't do nothing here. Then you got a lot of nothings. And if that's what you want, enjoy all those nothings that you got. But leave the people alone that are trying to make a difference and trying to help people, because they have a product that they're sharing. You know what I mean? And I saw that, and I felt like, Danielle, someone's feeling to defend myself. I'm like, don't defend yourself.
No. Yeah, you don't need to. Well, it's so interesting talking about the stuff that's in our head. It's like that person got triggered. Why they got triggered, I don't know. They came across a video that triggered them. It's because there's something unresolved in their own mind. Maybe it has to do with finances. Maybe it has to do with, whatever, their own failed career aspiration. Who knows? Right. And I look at life as, it's like we're on a playground and there's an obstacle course. And it's like anytime you get triggered, it's because that was life trying to teach you, like, hey, there's something unfinished within you. Hey, make sure you go deal with that, because we can't level up until we do. Right. And if you keep ignoring those things, it's just going to get harder and harder. Everything's going to feel awful. So I don't know, Jay, when I see those types of things, I personally, I don't take things personally anymore. I've been through enough in my own life to know, you know what, we're all just in our own heads dealing with our own stuff, and we bump into each other. It's like, it's not personal. It's just, that's life. But yeah, I would say that person, I hope they go reflect on, what's unfinished.
Well, that is, when people are easily triggered by someone else, it is literally like the universe putting up a mirror and saying, you know what, this is what's wrong with you. I'm trying to show you this is something that you need to, work on.
Yeah.
When something triggers you and really sets you off, that is something that you within yourself, or I should say, if someone says something that triggers you, you have to really take a look at why, because there is something within yourself that really needs improvement or worked on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a mirror. It's a complete reflection.
Yeah.
It is. Totally is.
We want to take a look at, like, try on the thought process of, because there's, and again, I hope as people get through their days and their lives, is that the thought process of try on celebrating people's success. We've been taught You know, there's a division, rich and poor, good and bad, middle class, low. You know what I mean? There's these divisions, right? So they are what they are. But try to celebrate people's success and see what happens to your own life. If you can actually look at someone that you don't know and let them run through the streets of whatever because they have found their way in life, we should be applauding that. We should be using that. We should be like, oh man, it can be done. You see that it can be done. Right?
And we're all one. I mean, we're all connected. I think this is what boggles my mind when people get into jealousy or competition. I'm like, no. We're all one, right? The ocean, and we're each an expression of the wave. That's how I look at it. And so if you're winning, I'm winning, right? We are lifting together. Like, that's just how it works. And if I try and like bring negativity to that situation, I'm just pulling the collective down. Like, it's crazy to me.
Exactly. And when everybody is so focused on getting to a higher level of consciousness, aka 3D, 4D, 5D, but you're tearing someone else down, that's not going to help the cause.
It's going to slow us down.
The collective.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
We're fucking it up for the rest of us. I mean, seriously, it is a collective. It's a consciousness. We're here together. We're here to help each other try to get to the other side of this. I mean, in the best and most easiest way that we can. So if we can try embracing that that's going to be pretty cool there. So, you know, people desperately, hey, Julia, how you doing?
Hi, Julia.
People, you know, and I tell you guys, the one, for those of you watching here today, is that first thing to start doing is be confident in admitting what you want. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't have what do you call it? Fear of success. Don't have that fear of success. If you start being confident in what you want, what I can assure you, what will happen is the right people will start to come around you to help cocoon you. You know, mm-hmm. they'll come to you. Just be confident of that you want. Don't be afraid. I mean, there's really, in my opinion, there's no such thing as failure per se. It's just a shitty experience that you just don't know never to do again. But just so whatever, right? But if once you do that, then go to the next one. You keep learning from it. It's that cliche like that. But start admitting what you want. Start admitting the things you do want. Start admitting that in your lifetime that you do want to be wealthy if that's what you really want. That doesn't have to be a darkest, deepest desire. That needs to, I mean, you got to put it out to the universe if that's what you want. And again, I personally believe, what do you think, is that if you start doing that, that you're gonna attract the right people that all of a sudden come to you and all of a sudden just seem to show up.
It's a really funny thing. The more you chase anything, whether it's money, love, friendships, success, what does the universe do? They're gonna pull it all away from you. When you stop chasing all of those things and make yourself the best that you could possibly be, then you become an energetic magnet, which we already are, right? We're energetic beings. Now you've raised your energy, and all those things that you were once chasing will now start chasing you, because you're now going to magnetize everything to you, right? So it's an interesting dichotomy. You think by chasing it, it's going to come to you, but the absolute opposite is the truth. Make yourself the best version of yourself that you could possibly be, and all of a sudden, all of those things that you want will start magnetizing and attracting to you, literally like a magnet.
You know what you said, Danielle, which is such a big thing, is like, you know, we gotta really be conscious that we're the collective. You know what I mean? And how we bring each other up and down. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. They know it. They know it's the thing, like at least it's a cliche or the buzz phrase of the year or whatever, but they don't really know it. You know what I mean? Or they don't necessarily say, okay, they don't live by it. And I tell you, it's important to live by it, because it's a real phenomenon. It really is, to know that you can meet another spirit and realize that spirit's got to go through a journey, right? So wherever we're here, we're trying to figure this stuff out. So this spirit's got to go through the journey, and you know, we got to help each other's spirit get through there. And then, you know, there's this whole thing. And tell me how you handle this, because you've dealt with a lot of people, Danielle, and really been helping a lot of people with creating abundance. How do you handle that whole broke mindset thought process, that agenda, though? You know, because you're in it. You're in the trenches of it, and you're dealing with people at the level of, I got to do this, or I need this. There's a lot of that going on. Yeah. you find out what do you seem to think is the common denominator in that, in your experience, and how do you really deflect on it?
Well, it's all our own paradigms. It's beliefs that are in our heads. And so the way I look at everybody, is I look at the results that they're getting. And if they're getting certain results, I know it's a reflection of self-image they have in their own mind of themselves, or where their paradigms or limiting beliefs are. And so I just try and kind of step back. And the way I honestly do it is I'm like, well, what sunglasses are they wearing? Right? Like there's something in the way here that's not letting them like produce, see, experience the world as they should, as the being that I know them to be. And they're an expression of the divine. Like they can have and do and create whatever they want, but some limiting belief in their own mind is getting in the way. So then I try to delicately ask questions to help them realize that they're wearing these sunglasses, to help them see the belief. Where I say, well, are you just not trusting? Or I'll say, well, hang on a second, what would those kind of finances bring to you? Or I'll ask questions. I mean, to me, Jay, it's like, as a coach and a mentor, that's my role. And what I try and do with people is like the work that I'm in, it's 95% mindset. Like, I could teach a 6th grader to do what we do, talk and share some exciting things. Like they talk and share exciting things all the time. But we get in our own heads, and it happens to all of us. And that's actually why I love this industry of network marketing, is because it's like a spiritual development, like obstacle course. I mean, it is literally like you can apply everything here. You learn so much about yourself. And I try to get people to see that that's really what it is, that they can see, do, and have whatever it is that they want if they push through their own stuff. And so I try to create that space for a team. I always say we have the best soil for people's seeds of potential to be able to grow and bloom, because you got to be around the right people. And I get them reading books, I get them like looking at things differently. I mean, I get them meditating. Like I just try and kind of steer them, because people have to have their own realization. The hardest thing is sometimes it's just releasing and saying, man, this is their journey. They're just not there yet. But I think it all comes from, limiting beliefs as a kid. And it's so interesting. I was just reading last night. I finished one of Greg Braden's book, The Divine Matrix, while I was on the plane. And I picked up another one of his books called The Science of Self Empowerment, I think is what it's called. And he was talking about how, unbeknownst to all of us, like through science, right, through Darwinism, through being taught about evolution, we are taught survival of the fittest. We're kind of like have this subconscious programming that we're meant to compete. And like a competition's good and friendly and whatever, but we forget, it makes us feel separate, and we're not. And when we can like reprogram people to realize, no, we're a collective, and together we're more. And that's again why I love the ASEA model, because if I win, you win. If you win, I win. And we're helping one another. And so it's just, I mean, I don't know if I answered the question you originally asked me, Jay, but like there's so many layers to it. And I think that, where the programming comes from, and it comes from society, it comes from people's own parents, it comes from the stuff that they're watching. So I just tell everybody, check in. What news are you consuming? What videos are you consuming? What are you reading? Who are you talking to? And you need to start cutting, because a lot of that is probably not serving you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cutting away the drama and the fear porn. People always say, which is why it's so important that you have your discernment meter in check. And I think that's probably one of the most difficult things for people to really, especially because there's so much information going around. And then you're like, well, what is the truth? What is really true, right? We've been hearing about X, Y, and Z, but that hasn't happened. And you get so stuck on something for so long, wanting it to happen. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, well, I don't even know who to trust anymore. I don't know what to believe. You got to believe yourself.
Exactly. It's all in you.
Exactly. You got to trust within yourself. So what's the easiest way to get your discernment meter tight? Very, very simple. If something is projecting fear, that is not for your better well-being. Get rid of it, turn it off, change the channel, delete. If anything is projecting any form of negativity or making you not feel good or not feel safe, that is not coming from a high vibration. Turn it off, change the channel, step away, leave the room. That's the easiest way. And same with same with YouTubers or anything that you're watching on social media or anything that you're listening to or tapping into on social media. If at any point in time that whatever you're listening to, watching, or reading is making you feel sad, fearful, depressed, or have any form of anxiety, get rid of it.
You get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
So, I mean, because I talk to people so much and I feel like I have the privilege to have a pretty strong pulse of what people are really going through just in my day-to-days of really talking to so many people.
Because you're talking to people all day long.
Because I'm talking to people all day long. And so I get a pretty good pulse of what it is. And it's really, it's humbling, but it's also very like, it's like you get in like a state of like, oh man, that's really messed up, because there's such a sense of camaraderie, but in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? It's like camaraderie in the wrong direction, where it's like there's a sense of like feeling comfort in distress. You know what I mean? Like in the worst of times. You know what I mean? Like misery loves company kind of thing, like that. Like all these things. And so, I want to share with people, if we can bring any value to you, is, eagles don't fly in formation. Break out of the pack. Whatever analogy we can come up with. I think you know where I'm going with this. But just get away from all of that. That is not healthy. Do it for yourself, but do it for the ones that rely on you the most also. Because if you have a family, you're a caregiver, you have to, in today's world, we all came to this planet, and ultimately, I don't care what anybody else says. I really, really don't. Nobody ultimately knows why. Okay. We just don't know. Okay. So it is what it is. So let's enjoy the shit out of it in this moment and stop thinking about what is possibly unknown and what has already been done. We enjoy this moment. It's going to be a very different experience for us, but you're going to have to really pull up your big boy pants, big girl pants, and step up. Not again, if you're one of those that does this and you got people that rely on you, then you really need to step up, because it's not responsible.
I think it's empowering when you do that, right? When you stop letting some external circumstance like be what is holding you up, or allowing you to experience joy or not. When you say no, it's within me. How am I going to interact or react to what's going on? Like you take your power back. When you have your power, then you can start creating, and you can start to draw in the situations, the people, the circumstances to create your world. But so many people are stuck in this, oh, whoa, it happened to me, this victim mentality. And like, drives me nuts, because I was there. So I feel like I totally get it. I mean, after my car accident for a good year, I was this, I felt like a victim. I'm like, man, my life got taken from me. I can't earn, I can't hang out with my friends. Like I went through severe depression, anxiety, like it was bad. But then I just realized, time out, like all of that is not serving me today. We can't go back and change anything. So what can I do today? Well, today I can change the way I look at things. Today I can decide what I can control. Today I can take it back. And then once I realized what happens when you take it back, it's like, whoa, you become a vessel to create. And I think that's the opportunity we all have right now. So collectively, we've been through some stuff, right, over the last few years. And it's like, I think it's a wake-up call. Like, that's the obstacle course. It's to help people realize, no. You don't need to live with everything out there, right? You have to decide how you're going to interact, react, and then create from it. And so, people have come out of these last few years in different spaces. And I think we can just keep inviting people into that space.
Exactly. And talking about taking your power away and getting your power back, there's nothing more powerful than that. And how many times have we heard this one? Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. Well, that right there is totally giving your power away. How about trying this one on? Trust your own plan.
Yeah.
How about creating your own plan? That is putting all the power right back to you, instead of giving it away and hoping and praying that someone else is going to create your dreams, that someone else is creating what you want yourself. Trust your own plan, create your own plan.
And as you go through these days, as you go through life, as you go through 2022, just think about just a couple of triggers for yourself. Just, when you get the tendency, because we've been trained this way, right? All of us have been trained. Many of us have been trained this way, to just think about celebrating people. just think about celebrating people. Just think about celebrating people. That's really what should do there. Everything else will start to become a habit. If you were to simplify it, just think about, what do you got to do to make someone else's life easier that's close to you? You're going to find that your life becomes very easy, very fast, because you're going to create that energy. And when people, if you're having a bad day, share it with the ones that you need to share it with, like maybe a mother or a father or a caregiver, but the rest of the world doesn't need to know about your bad day. Don't do that shit to people. That's just awful. That's terrible. I know you feel like you need to release something, but don't do it there. Think about being responsible. I just want you to just, I mean, in the worst of days, you shouldn't, don't put your feelings on a sign for everybody to see. There's people in your life that are intelligently designed to help you with that. And they're called mother or father, caregiver, brother, sister, whatever, but not the world on the internet. They're not designed to be your caregiver. So don't put that shit on them. I'm telling you, you're causing bad juju on yourself, and you may not think you are, but you're putting that stuff out. Then they start putting that stuff out. Next thing you know, you created this vortex of dark energy. Next thing you know, you're all sucked in a hole. Next thing you know, you're all broke. And then you feel like shit, physically, mind, body, spirit, because you allowed that to happen. So when someone starts doing that and puts their stuff out there, delete it.
You know what the real virus is? Drama. Drama is really the real virus, because it spreads like a virus and you're infecting everyone around you. Keep your drama to yourself. Keep your drama to yourself. And when you do go through moments of your drama, try to keep them short. Try to get out of it fast. The faster that you get out of the drama, the quicker everything will start. The less and less drama you're going to have. The faster that you learn how to let go and release the drama, the less and less drama you will have. That's really the real virus.
It's true.
I
agree with you, Janie. Nature, it's like such a beautiful outlet, I think, to be able to take, like if I'm feeling off, I'll just go outside and step outside, put my feet on the earth, I'll jump in the water, like something to allow it to pass.
Actually, probably that's the best thing, because Mother Nature can handle it. Right? Your friends and your family, not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Can handle it. Mother Nature can cleanse you. Mother Nature can absorb all that negativity. Mother Nature can give back to you all of the energy and the good vibes that you really want. So if you best thing, go outside, let it out outside, release it outside. Go, if you're near the ocean or water, jump in the water. If you're near a tree, without sounding like totally like a cliche, go hug a tree. Go hug a tree. They can handle it, and they're not gonna feel bad about it.
Janie's so right. The best drama eraser, which is why we're such a big proponent of this.
Drama eraser.
Comes with an eraser and everything, with a nice whiteboard. You can draw your own picture. But the best drama eraser, well said, Janie, on this. This keeps you at a high vibe state, everybody. This is why we're such a big fan of this, and this is why we continually put it out there. This is exactly what everybody's been talking about for the last couple of years that would show up, and it is here. It is here. Maybe not growing back a limb, you know what I mean, or something
Not
like
yet.
that. Not yet, but if you don't have missing limbs, whatever, this is pretty damn good. If you do, this is probably pretty good for you too. But I will say this to you, is that this is here. You have to try this. If you have not tried this yet, if you have not embraced this ASEA Redox experience, it's not another lotion, potion, or shake. It's not a supplement. There's no nutrients. It's not there intended to replace anything that you're doing right now. This is what's going to make what you're doing right now work a shit ton better. Okay? If you're one of those like we have been, right, that are taking 7, 8, 9, 10 supplements and feeling really good, but never able to identify what worked, this really helped put that intuitive compass together to really share with us what works. So if you are not taking this is the missing link, I personally believe, especially after going there to see where this was manufactured. I believe this is the missing link in humanity.
Well, not only that, if you really want to create manifestation in your life, you really got to clean your life up.
Yeah.
And right, that means you have to clean up what you're eating. You have to clean up what you're thinking. You have to clean up what you're sharing. You have to clean up what you're digesting. You have to clean up what you're putting down your throat, what you're thinking. You have to do major cleanup duty.
Absolutely, because if you don't have a clean spirit, you're not going to be able to get there. So listen, pragmatically speaking, we're in 2022. Before you know it, it'll be 2025. The question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to feel like you've lived a hard few years ahead, or like you want to live younger longer? Okay, and that's the question. It seems like an obvious answer, but it's not to many for whatever reason. So if you feel you want to live younger longer, reach out to us. We're happy to help on that. But
you know what the other thing too is, I hear so many people saying now, like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. There's so much this. The world is collapsing. The banks collapse. Everything around me. I don't think so. I think this is the greatest time.
Growing. I know. Depends on what reality you choose, right?
Exactly. We're not. The three of us are not choosing to create that reality. You can very easily create that reality. Absolutely. The door's wide open. I don't see it like that, though. I don't see our life as awful, and I want to escape this earth plane, and this earth is a prison planet. No, it's not. You've been fed a line of garbage. If you believe this earth is a prison planet, it's absolutely beautiful. There's so much beauty in this earth. It's not even funny.
This is heaven. I think this can be really heaven for us. I mean, we really can. We have absolutely everything to gain by embracing this as if it's a heaven, because like nobody's showing us anything different.
Yes.
We don't know what will happen at the end. So what? Let's deal with that. That's what we should learn to process, is that we don't know, instead of like where we're going. Forget about where we're going. We'll go to wherever we're going to end up going. That's already wherever.
Let's worry about here. And what we do know is that we're shown what we believe in here. So like the world's a mirror. So if we think great things, we're going to keep seeing great things. Like, what a playground. I just think about it, like, what a beautiful playground. It's just, if you don't realize the rules of the game, you're probably making a miserable time for yourself. But if you realize that that's how it works, and if you can create in here, like, you're going to live an awesome life. And
isn't that simplistic?
Yeah.
How simplistic is that? I mean, it cannot be any more simple, but we like to complicate things.
Oh, we do.
We like to make things more difficult than they need to be, because we have been indoctrinated to believe that we have to work like animals, and we have to be slaves to a paycheck, and we have to be slaves to someone else.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is scary. You're not going to make it. You won't make enough money. Why would you leave this to do that? There's so much opportunity in this world. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lack of nothing. We are not in lack of anything. We're not running out of water. The earth is not running out of food.
Yeah.
There's not lack of anything. The earth is in great abundance of everything. Again, if you're listening to drama about there's not enough water, there's not enough food, there's not enough.
That's
Turn
your
it
life.
off.
That becomes
Turn
your
it
life.
off, or you're going to create that.
Yeah, you'll manifest. It'll become your reality.
Exactly. The more that you're listening to the world is this and there's not enough of that, you're going to create it.
It really is. I feel
it's that simple.
You really are going to create it this way. And when people have visions and they have dreams that they want to do, and you don't really know them, or maybe you do know them, just realize, I just want you to think of something. When you add in your stuff, your comments, if you would, you're changing the trajectory possibly of what their destiny could be. So just know that. Just know that your your thoughts, unless they're uplifting, know that they're selfish, to put it bluntly. If you're not giving someone that you don't know these people,
very true,
and they're putting
Jay.
out, hey, I'm doing this business or that business, and you have something there to do, it happens all the time. I just want to really bring it up. You're altering the trajectory of that person's destiny. You're slowing them off their path. So you know what? I want you to think when you do that. Now, you may not think that you're doing it, you know, to that magnitude, but that's what ultimately happens there. They say, you know what? Maybe that person's right. Maybe I shouldn't fulfill my destiny because that person that I don't know nothing about and who doesn't know anything about me told me that. You see? So just think about what you're doing to other people. Now think about the karmic backlash that you will get for that. So I want you to think about the spiritual aspects of what you're doing here when you don't praise people that are really trying to make an honest go at life. Okay? When you don't praise people, and you know what? Like probably a lot of mothers say, or most mothers say, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it at all. How about that trick? You know, nobody's saying for you to just root
my
them
mother
on.
used to say, don't put your nose where it doesn't belong.
It's true.
Nose out other people's business.
Yeah. Just don't put your nose where it doesn't belong. If you feel like you don't agree with what the person's doing, just don't say anything. That's a better course of action. Let them be. Let their spirit fly. Let their spirit soar. Let them do their thing. Don't fuck with them like that. That's not cool that you do that because it does. It's what's happening because you see the world as it is. It's what takes people off their game. You know, other people that don't know.
Let's try this one on. What's the highest vibration? Love, 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 love. Vibration and love. It's the ultimate highest vibration. The second highest vibration and frequency is gratitude. Love and gratitude can not only change your life, it could literally change the world. So instead of being a Debbie Downer and spewing your drama all over the place, how about spreading love and gratitude?
Apologies to anybody named Debbie that's watching.
How about spreading love and gratitude and watch your life shift? Do you wake up in the morning and say thank you? Do you go throughout your day and say thank you? Are you sharing and telling others and showing others that you love them and appreciate them? Are you thanking the universe for your life? Try that on.
You know why we bring Danielle here often, everybody? Because Danielle has really been a great energy showing us vortex.
She's a powerhouse.
Well, she's helping us to learn more and more and create awareness of helping others become abundant, really creating this 5D experience. That's her world. She becomes abundant by helping other people become abundant. That's her thing. Let me help you have a better life, is what she says. Let me help you have a better life. Let me help you make more money. Let me help you provide more for your family. Let me show you a better way. Let me show you how to feel better. This is why we do this. We now take that baton, you know, so she passes it on to us. We now do that. We now get to live like that. When we live like that, I can tell you right now, as I stand in this moment, I think I'm having the best time of my life. I love it.
Well, you know why we're having the best time of our lives? Because we cleared up our shit.
That helps.
And
always helps.
We're on the right path.
Yeah.
We're on the right path. You know, I thought of something today, Danielle. You hear a lot of people saying, don't be of service to self. But I thought about that and I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's right at all.
No.
You need to be of service because you hear a lot of people saying, you know, be of service to humanity well, that's fine and dandy, but you have to be of service to yourself first. Kind of what I just said, because you got to clean your shit up first, right?
You would be useless. If I hadn't done my own work, I wouldn't be in a position to help you.
Yeah. Exactly. Be of service to yourself first, and then be of service to humanity.
That's true. That's funny, but you're right. You'd be useless.
I would be. I mean, guys, listen. I think I said to you before, if I met you several years ago, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing because I wasn't in a position to. Like, you have to. It's all internal. Like everything in this world, it's just internal stuff. And then, you know, once you get that right, the external world starts becoming a fun playground because you've done the work internally. But until you do that, like, you can't shortcut it. You might be able to trick things for a little while, but ultimately life comes right back to what's inside of you. It manifests as results in your life. Like there's just no getting around it. And yeah, I don't mean to sidetrack us, but somebody asked about this like an hour ago. And
Danielle.
Yeah. So what's that spray bottle behind me? Guys, this stuff, everything we're talking about, like, is wrapped up in that blue bottle, but this is a spray bottle of ASEA. Like, I literally, the stuff in Jay's hand, I put into this and I spray it. I spray it in my eyes. I spray it on my skin. I spray it if there's like some irritation on my, my skin, on my legs. I live in the middle of the forest, so I run into a lot of little insects. That's why I always have it, because it's the most incredible thing. And this, we talk about drinking that, and we talk about how it shifts the internal world and how it raises your vibration and all of that. It was Chastity. Yes. Thank you, Michael. Okay. So I didn't mean to ignore you, but we were having too good of a conversation. Yeah, I use this and I literally put it everywhere. I have people that spray it in their hair. If they've got hair things going on, I have people spray it in their eyes. You can put ASEA anywhere, like literally anywhere. And so that's why this is always behind me, and I always have it.
I was watching Kid and Candy the other day, and Kid was just spraying throughout the show, spraying. And I said, actually, I really like that, because you can pop it in your purse. And, when you're out, there's so much things going on with this, right? And all of the stuff that's coming out of people's system, right? So just to be able to just, refresh and feel good and spray it, and it's great.
Hey, you know what's cool? When we went on that trip to Utah, because we hadn't flown, Danielle, for probably 4 or 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. So I think it was you who told me, you're like, just load up on this, right? So I'm like, I'll try it, because I hate flying, and I just am, I just don't like it. Whatever, but it is what it is. So anyway, going to that flight, going to a different time zones, your body needs to adjust to all that. Mm-hmm. We just powered down on this and didn't feel the effect. We came back unscathed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it is. So if you are one of those that travel, I can tell you from recent experience, this was fantastic. This was great. I mean, we doubled up. I mean, we just, before that didn't feel the effects of being around a lot of sick people, in a very close confinement of a plane and whatever. And the
I mean, you guys we didn't get to sleep much. I mean, we were out there with people, connecting with people.
I think maybe like
3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and you're standing there, you wouldn't have known, It's like everyone's energy level was still so high. It's yeah, I'm telling you guys, you're still to me, you're still babies in ASEA. It's there's so much more for you to explore. 8 years in, I've watched this stuff do just the most amazing things. And the more you kind of play with your own body and your own different situations, I've had people fly to Europe, right? Talk about jet lag and a time zone difference. And they take the ASEA the proper way, and boom, boom. They're not feeling energetically anything, because one of the things this is researched to do is it activates a gene called EGR1. I know we're getting into biology, but just stay with me. That gene is a pathway signaler for your circadian rhythm. So it literally is resetting your internal clock when you take it, and it's keeping you on the right internal rhythm so that, you're flowing. So that's why you were feeling what you were feeling.
Oh, nice.
I will tell you right now, we are the gods and goddesses of this planet. So that's how we should probably take a look at being open. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying worship each other by any means. I'm saying simply just know that we have the ability to co-create. We're here. We're what we experience. We're what we feel. It does not mean that you don't have faith. Faith is a great thing. We all, it doesn't mean you don't have faith. I'm simply saying that you're here. Make what you can see right now. You'll make it work. This will give you that experience of appreciating the body that you're in. This will give you the feeling of feeling like, oh man, this will give you from that to, all right, this is pretty damn cool. I like this.
We talked about the beginning, the 4 quadrants: mind, body, spirit, prosperity. Mm-hmm. I literally, April, you say this all the time, it's the whole enchilada. But that blue bottle, it helps keep your mind clear. It is going to repair your body exactly where you need it. Spiritually, I think we all have felt the lift and vibration that it brings. And then prosperity, it's just sometimes I have to step back and go, wow, do I pinch myself? Is this real? But it is real. I'm 8 years into the journey, and it just gets better and better and better. And those 4 quadrants keep filling up, right? It's the upward spiral of all of them.
I'm glad you tagged on that, because I was saying the other day, I forget who I was talking to, but the ASEA is an experience, and it's not only an experience in that how it changes you, but It's a monthly experience because it's shifting us. Like I look back a month or two ago and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jay, look at how things have changed in our life. Look at how we've changed. So it's interesting. It goes through different phases and it's like an entire experience, and it's really pretty exciting. And I do want to talk about one thing too, that we just kind of quickly went over, that we went to Utah. We experienced the facility and the actual home office, and it was much more than I ever anticipated. It is something that is unbelievable. It is truly the wow factor. And to be able to go and see how it is actually manufactured is one thing. But to go and meet the people behind the product is an entirely different thing. And when you meet the people in the company behind the product, they're just the salt of the earth.
And you can tell we know enough.
These are genuinely authentic humans that have dedicated their life to making their lives better and to also making humanity a much better place.
And we know enough and talk to enough people when you can tell when people are putting up their front because they're paid to. These people were just generally very heartfelt. They were just very listen, we're trying to make a difference here. And they wanted to again, even at the level they're at as far as a big company, invite people over to say, hey, look, here's what we got. You got something. How can we all make a difference together? It's really it's epitomizes this 5-dimensional experience this company ASEA does, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I believe they've really done a great job of doing that, and it's so we
they do epitomize the 5D.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So on a thank you everybody. On a closing note, we hope you got value out of our sermons today. Danielle will be passing around the collection plate. Okay, so in all seriousness, though, listen, really take us on here on this one. Try on the thought process of try celebrating people's successes. Try not to really buy into anybody's stuff. If they do put their stuff out there, don't just back off. Remember, you got your own family and yourself to deal with. Do get yourself to step up your game for yourself and the people that need you the most. It's a good thing to do. It'll give you good karma. It'll give you a lot of blessings in your life. Your life will be blessed if you become responsible for yourself. If you celebrate life
will celebrate you back.
That's right. So, all right, our soul sister Danielle Matthews, thanks for hanging out with us. It's always good. Even though we saw you last week, I haven't seen you in there. It's good to kind of get the rhythm back going there. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us as you always do. Much love to you. If you would like to get that, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you get there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And together with our little blue bottle, we are the universal key to global harmony and creating a unified world. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, tune in often, tell all your friends. And most importantly, make all your beautiful dreams come true. Many blessings.